I've been in the coffee industry for 16 years and a coffee enthusiast for 20. I can remember even early on in my journey having conversations with friends and family and realizing that people didn't know much about coffee. They took for granted that coffee was a thing that you could just buy at a grocery store, local neighborhood shop. That trend has continued throughout my career. I still regularly find people who don't know that coffee is the seed of a fruit, that before they buy that bag, coffee has to be grown, harvested, processed, dried, hulled, sorted, bagged, shipped, and roasted. That's a lot of work. I had never been to a coffee growing country, to Origin. In January of 2022, I had decided to make the trip. I wanted to see firsthand the work that goes into coffee production. On January 3rd, I landed in Guatemala City. From there, it was a 2-hour drive to Antigua. Antigua is a beautiful town. Cobblestones pave a grid of roads lined closely on either side with colorful houses. Throughout the town, there are the ruins of churches broken down by 3 massive earthquakes in the 18th century, each now in a state of restoration. Not far from Antigua is the farm we've been buying coffee from, Finca El Amaton. Lillian Martinez has run the farm the last 10 years with her son, Felipe, and husband, Benicio. During that time, she's overseen many changes. Most recently, they've installed a new on-site wet mill, which they can use to experiment with different fermentation times and processing methods to improve the quality and consistency of their coffee. Managing a coffee farm is a complex process. From February, when trees are bare and saplings are being planted, through until harvest, which can last through the end of January, meticulous care must be given to a host of different variables, from soil content to coffee varietal, which trees are being used to provide shade, elevation, processing method, fermentation time, drying techniques. Each season represents a critical opportunity to experiment, but with results only coming in once per year, progress can be slow. During the harvest, pickers are brought in from the nearby town of Alotenango. Mostly women, groups of 10 to 50 arrive at the farm each day. They comb through the areas of the farm with the ripest fruit. Each worker can harvest up to 50 to 200 pounds of coffee during a single day, with total harvests of up to 8,000 pounds. Such a harvest would yield about 1,600 pounds of actual usable coffee, as much of the weight is made up of fruit and moisture. Lillian has recently partnered with Herbert Giron, owner of Echo Coffee. Herbert runs a dry mill nearby and has helped to oversee the installation of Lillian's on-site wet mill. As the director of coffee for 35 North, it is my responsibility to procure, roast, and assess the quality for coffee in our shop. Together, Lillian, Herbert, and I represent the leadership for these 3 major phases of coffee production: farming, milling, and roasting. So it was one of the most empowering moments of the trip when the 3 of us got together to taste coffee. Over the course of an hour, we evaluated 9 different coffees from Lillian's farm. We discussed and debated. I was able to provide immediate feedback to Lillian and Herbert on which coffees were the most exciting to me and which I thought would do best at 35 North. Moreover, we were able to evaluate some of the aforementioned variables and discuss what impact they were having on the cups. There are thousands of coffee farms around the world. Most are small, like El Amaton, run by families and employing a few dozen people. They sell their coffee to local mills or importers, and they lack the direct feedback from their final customers. The constant pressure put on coffee farms by global commodity markets forces the price for coffee down and makes it difficult for farms to invest in resources of any kind, be it labor or product development. This, then, is the opportunity presented in direct trade purchasing. 35 North, like many other small specialty coffee shops, has the power to work with these farms directly. We choose to engage with Lillian and Herbert and to provide them with that feedback, to pay above market price for their coffee, and to share their story with our customers. We believe that in doing so, we can enhance their ability to produce amazing coffee, and we can change the perception of the people we serve on the value of our product. If you can appreciate this, share it. Tell your friends. There are 100 people, 1,000 miles, and countless opportunities to fail between the beginning of coffee's journey and its final destination, in your cup. A great cup of coffee represents everything going right, and it should be celebrated.